Hello everyone and welcome to my second vlog. It was lovely and bright earlier when I started to record this, but I just was going off on a tangent. So I thought, Kylie, you need to start this again. Essentially, this week's vlog is different to last week's, which I'm really happy about because, being totally honest, my daily life looks the exact same right now. To all of my best friends that watched the last vlog, they were like, you know what you should do next? Do a chatty get to know me. They gave me lots of questions and lots of ideas to basically cover in a video. Chatty get to know me. So I have questions on my phone that I'm going to answer because otherwise, like I said earlier, I go off on an absolute tangent. This week's vlog was very chill, daily life, what I was getting up to. And being totally honest, this week, my rehab, I'm not back in the gym, I'm not back in the office. Nothing has really changed. So it actually suited me perfect. I was like, yes, girls, give me all the ideas because I'm clearly not capable of coming up with them myself. Now, like I said, if my life was a little bit more exciting this week, I absolutely would have recorded, but it wasn't. So that is where we're at. One update is though, I did have my 2-week checkup. 2-week? Yeah, 2-week checkup in Santry on Tuesday, and that went so well. I had my first physio session on Thursday, which also went really well. My knee is super stiff, but we're doing rehab. I'm getting at a 90-degree angle. I'm on the stairs, like pushing my knee forwards and backwards. I know it doesn't sound that exciting, but I am buzzing doing my rehab. It's just when you're trying to do rehab and you're trying to have a full-time job and have a life and relax, it's actually very hard. So I would have loved a little break from work, but that's not possible. And I'll tell you why if you don't already know. But yeah, so I have lots of questions in front of me and they're actually really useful. Obviously, I just asked ChatGPT based on what the girls told me to say. And update on essentially the season of my life that I'm in now. I'm 28 years of age. We moved into this house last summer, but when I say last summer, I actually mean summer 24. We got our gorgeous puppy Sonny. Well, he's not a puppy anymore because he's one. We got our gorgeous dog Sonny in March of 25, and then we got engaged in May 25. Really good distraction getting a dog before you're going to propose, because I wasn't thinking about a proposal, I was thinking about the dog. And we are getting married August 2027, so we still have a bit to go, but equally it's creeping around the corner, being totally honest. And yeah, that's basically where I'm at. You saw the last vlog, but if you didn't, I had surgery on the 30th of December on my knee. I had an MPFL reconstruction surgery, which means that I'm basically somewhat out of action for a couple of weeks. If not, like it might be 6 months before I run. But yeah, basically I am somewhat out of action. I am rehabbing at home. I'm working from home. I'm not gone back into the office yet. I haven't gone back into the gym yet. I'm hobbling around on my one crutch, and getting to Dunn's is as exciting as my weekends get. But honestly, getting to Dunn's now feels so fun. Today I spent a bit of time rearranging the house, which felt so satisfying because now I can kind of walk a little bit more and do a little bit more, and I only have one crutch, so I can now carry stuff, which is a bonus. So yeah, this is basically going to be, I'm going to potentially try keep it short, but not too short. A chatty, get to know me. Basically, I'm just chilling. It's Saturday, so I'll be uploading this hopefully in 2 days' time. And I will be doing my rehab after this. So that's what's going to basically make me get through this as quick as possible. So some of the questions are basically kind of where I started in terms of like college and life. So because the girls were like, you need to tell people what you do for work. So essentially I went to UL, so the University of Limerick. I studied business. I majored in HR. And I then went on to work for Dell Technologies for 1 year and 4 months, I think, before finally leaving there and then becoming full-time with Fem Fuels. Fem Fuels is a female supplement company that both myself and my brother co-founded, and we started working on that in 2018, which is when I was in 3rd year of college on co-op. Essentially, we started working on that because back in 2018, for those of you that remember 2018, everything about supplements and the fitness industry was really like male orientated, masculinated, how I guess supplements looked on shelf, the tone of voice, the communication, the branding. It was all really, really manly and macho. And my brother was really well educated on nutrition, how he should fuel himself before, during and after exercise. And I just wasn't. Like, I was so into the gym. I was exercising at that stage. I'd been probably exercising from home from the age of like 16 onwards, like it literally might have been like a treadmill and sit-ups, but I was, and I loved it. And then I started PT, I would say like first year of college, so when I finished 6th year, I think. And I was always into fitness, always into like health, exercising, but I never understood what supplements I could be taking that might help my recovery or ensure that I was fueling myself and nourishing my body enough. Like I could have woken up maybe at 6 a.m, gone and done a gym session, gone to college and not ate in between without realising that that wasn't what I should be doing. And basically when we were thinking about it and talking about it, William would essentially be saying to me, you need to be taking X, Y, Z. And back then I genuinely did believe that if I took those supplements, I would look more like William than I already did. And I think there was just this whole thing around supplements being like for bodybuilders and men, and it was really masculinated, and it made that space then really scary for women. And I just don't think women were informed enough on what they should be doing. So we essentially randomly, out of the blue, we never sat down and thought, let's start a business. We sat down and we were like, I wonder, can you take supplements and basically refine them and make them more specific for women through branding, through tone of voice, through formulations, through, you know, science-backed ingredients. Like, is there anything that we could do that would create this safe space for women and fuel, inform, empower them within the health and fitness space? And that is basically exactly what Fem Fuels became. So like I said, we started working on that in 2018. I was in 3rd year of college. William had just graduated, so he was working full time. And we basically just started researching manufacturers, branding teams, like websites, retailers, and trying to basically get the best understanding of it that we could. We found a manufacturer. Our manufacturer helped us recommend a branding team. We started working on name generation, the brand Bible, what it might look like, what it could be. We went through hundreds of different variations. If my editing skills are good enough, I'll actually put in little images of what Fem Fuels originally looked like. And from where it was to where it is today is honestly just mental. But started that in 2018. Like I said, 3rd year of college into 4th year of college, which obviously meant final exams. And we were basically just working on it part-time. When I was studying in the library, I wasn't studying. I was researching what Fem Fuels could be and what it should be. We went through, I would say, hundreds and hundreds of names trying to get it trademarked. Before eventually landing on what is now Fem Fuels. And it essentially becoming both of our full-time jobs since 2020, which is honestly incredible. We worked on it for 2 years. I always say that if I knew what we were getting into, I would have been a lot more scared. But I think the fact that it started as an idea, found a manufacturer, found a branding team, started talking to them, started being like, look, we want to create products just for females. I remember a lot of people at the start being like, you're crazy. Like, where are you off to? You need to do men and females. You're cutting half your target market. And we were like, absolutely not. Like, this is for females. This is really like, we were just so passionate about the fitness and supplement space being more catered to women that we were like, absolutely not, don't care, half the target market, we don't care, we want there to be supplements for women. It's actually really funny because I noticed that when I start talking about Fem Fuels and like what it is and what it was, I'm probably talking really fast and I get really passionate about it. So let's rewind a bit. I worked in Dell while we were like in the midst of launching Fem Fuels. So essentially what would happen was I went through 3rd year college, went through 4th year college. Me and William were working on that part-time. William then quit his job to work on Fem Fuels, but essentially it ended up taking longer than we expected because we were in the middle of COVID. I had to get a job again, and we kept, so it would essentially be me in college, William in work, coming home in the evenings, potentially having 30 minutes to talk about what we needed to do, put a to-do list in place, emails, who we needed to get onto, what we needed to action. William would have to go training and I would then sit in our spare room in our family home and action all of it. And honestly, when I think back on it, it was kind of crazy because we just had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. Fem Fuels launched the 1st of October 2020 and I left Dell in November 2020. So I was 1 month juggling both, and me and William literally just sat down one evening and we were like, do you know what? One of us needs to go full-time first. And from an admin perspective, it made sense for me to go full-time first, and then William basically came full-time like a month or two after, because we literally couldn't do it anymore. And today, Fem Fuels, what started as just sports nutrition, like I said, we were further refining formulations, how we could make sports nutrition specific for women, whether it was digestive enzymes, because like the biggest problem I had was bloating when I took protein. Digestive enzymes, adding vitamins and minerals like folic acid, calcium, vitamin D, making sure it was a premium protein content. Like, there was so much that we were just so passionate about. And Fem Fuels has now grown to an incredible range. an amazing health and well-being range that now focuses on like gut health, immunity, skin, bone and joint health. You know, we have electrolytes, like over 500 retailers now. We are both 5 years working full-time for Fem Fuels. We haven't killed each other, which is honestly probably our biggest achievement. Yeah, it's honestly just been an amazing journey, and that is what I do full-time. So if you're wondering why I'm working from home and have a little bit more flexibility, that is the reason. But equally, me and William were laughing the other day that when you work for yourself, you just have so much guilt that you don't take lunch, you don't go for a walk, you don't get up from the table, you actually don't even go to the bathroom when you need to go to the bathroom. You wait until last minute, you're like, oh, I need to run to the loo. And yeah, our goal for this year is to have a lot more balance, and in the last year I've worked a lot on that. I actually started working with someone because work kind of just, I'm not going to say work became my life, but it definitely became me. And I think all I knew was like Kylie Fem Fuels and not like what I actually like to do outside of that, which was probably kind of a hard thing to undertake in terms of figuring that all out, like going back to hobbies. Like I'll never forget sitting down one day and it being the case of like, you know, if you could do one thing for yourself, what would it be? And I was like, go for a walk. Like just go for a walk and not feel bad about going for a walk. And I think, yeah, for the first 3 or 4 years, you absolutely do. But I think if you're also not, when you're so stuck in the business, it's really hard to take a step back and be like, okay, like what are we actually trying to achieve here? What are we actually trying to do? What am I doing with myself that'll make sure that when I show up to work, I'm the best version of myself? And yeah, I've basically worked a lot on that in the last year and continue to work on it. And hopefully 2026 is going to be the best year for Fem Fuels. We did a lot of new product development last year, so it actually won't be from a product perspective this year, I don't think. But I think it'll be a lot of new markets, retailers, and hopefully just a lot of exciting news. So for anyone that did not know what I work as, that is what I do full time. Hobbies and what I love doing in my free time. If you do know me, you'll know that I'm absolutely obsessed with food. Like I eat my breakfast, I'm thinking about my lunch. I eat my lunch, I'm thinking about my dinner, or I'm thinking about snacks. Like everyone that spends time with me does say, like, you're consumed by food, which I am. I love food. I'm assuming you might be guessing from my enthusiasm that I genuinely mean that. I love food. I love sweet treats. I love pastries. I love anything to do with food. There is no food that I don't like. Like none. So yeah, love food. I'm laughing that I'm saying that that's like my interest and my hobby. I mean, I guess it kind of is. And then what else do I love to do in my free time? I love to bring my dog for a walk. I love to eat, like I said. I love to drink coffee. I didn't like coffee until like 3 or 4 years ago, and now I'm obsessed with flat whites. I love exercising. I kind of fell out of love with exercise, to be totally honest, in the last year, which was really weird and really strange for me. But I think it's because I had a few niggles. I had this issue with my knee. I used to be able to like run all the time, like open the front door, go for a run, go do a CrossFit class, be able to do burpees, be able to do cleans, and like just basically do whatever I wanted to do. And all of a sudden I couldn't do a lot of that. For someone who spent so much of their like teenage years and early 20s loving exercise, at last year I just really fell out of love with it. Wasn't consistent, was telling myself I'd go to the gym, wouldn't go to the gym, was going to the gym, not really exercising. I was mainly just trying to do like upper body and a little bit of lower body, but it just, that isn't me. Like my form of exercise is going for a run, putting in my headphones, listening to a podcast or listening to music and just forgetting about everything, or going to a CrossFit class, being absolutely punished for 60 minutes and going home and having a lovely brunch and a coffee. And that is literally what I love to do. And me just going to the gym and trying to do like a 45, 50, 60 minute workout, I just genuinely found it so boring, and it's just not what I love to do. And I was only having a conversation with one of the girls the other day. When you find exercise that you love to do, it genuinely makes it so much better. And you love going and you get such a buzz, and like you finish your workout and you just feel amazing. And I just don't think I was getting that last year. So now that my knee surgery is over and we are on the mend and I'm doing my rehab, I'm so excited for what kind of the next few months looks like, because I know I'll get back there, and I know I'll be back in a CrossFit gym, and I know that I will be back out for a run. And to say I am buzzing is an understatement, if you can't tell. But yeah, that's genuinely kind of my hobbies. Like I said, we moved into this house the summer of 24, so like love anything to do with the house. I'm obsessed with cleaning. I'm an OCD freak. My friend said to me last week they love the fact that I'm on crutches because it means when they call over I'm not cleaning the countertops. I am obsessed with cleaning. I'm really a bit of an organisation freak, to my detriment sometimes. But yeah, I love it. So like, can you call that a hobby? I mean, I'm sure you can. And yeah, just meeting my friends, chilling out, going for coffee. Love going for a sauna and a swim. Obsessed with sauna and swimming. We actually lived in Galway for a year. It's just so wholesome and just so wellnessy, and it's amazing. So yeah, that is basically what I do. I love reading. I love reading really crazy books. I love Frida McFadden. If you know any of Frida McFadden's books, you'll kind of know what I mean. Like really books. I just think it like forces me to escape. Like books that are boring to me just means I'm thinking about something else. Like I'm just thinking about what I have to do. I don't watch TV. Actually, at the start it asked me what's like something that people might not know about you, and it's that I don't like TV. I just hate it, even though I do have the TV on in front of me, but it's because there was a match on. I don't like TV. I don't like sitting down watching TV. Give me a good series and I'll watch it. Don't like TV. Don't like going to the movies, because when you go to the movies you can't talk. Like I don't like that. That's not for me. Routines, right guys. Pre-surgery, 6 a.m. wake up, journal, gym, home from gym, get ready for work, into work, midday coffee break and wellness walk, me and William call it, home from work, spend too much time on my phone, probably used to be my routine, eat dinner, clean and chill. My dream weekend is waking up, having a protein shake actually, because I'd be too hungry by the time I get there if I don't do that. So wake up, have a protein shake, sit in the car, go to Lahinch, do the sauna in Milltown Malbay. So sorry, don't go to Lahinch. Go do the sauna in Milltown Malbay, into Lahinch, go to Dodie's for brunch, get the sweet potato fritters with the poached eggs and a salad and a coffee, divine. Potentially then get a brownie and hot chocolate for takeaway. Go for a walk on the beach. Then out to Dolly's, go to Dolly's and get a coffee and maybe a pastry. Come home, do my groceries, sit on the couch. Dream weekend for me. If that doesn't make you get to know me, well then, I don't know what will. Actually a really nice question, especially because it's in the new year and with regards to what I am or where I'm at in life and what's going on. Kind of like what am I leaning into this season? And being totally honest, it's actually a slower life. So I know when I'm talking, I'm like getting up at 6 a.m, doing this, but I can't do that right now. And it has forced me to relax. It has forced me to slow down my mind. It has forced me to stay still. And in doing that, you learn a lot about yourself. And you learn that your brain is up to 90 a lot of the time. And like, there's no need for my brain to be up to 90 a lot of the time. Like, there's nothing going on that would make my brain be up to 90 other than that's just kind of the way I have always been. And I guess trying to retrain yourself and move through that stage of, it's January, I would usually be in the gym and like exercising and being really healthy. And honestly right now, like I'm not in the gym, I'm not exercising, I'm doing my rehab and I'm not eating all that healthy. Like I'm eating my 3 meals a day, I'm having my snacks. Am I eating chocolate? Yes. Am I having popcorn bowls? Absolutely. Am I having a pastry? Yeah. Am I eating banana bread? Yeah. Like, it's a very different January for me. And honestly, it's quite enjoyable because it's very chill and it's very relaxing. And like I said, it would usually be January and I'd be like, all guns blazing. But you know what's actually interesting? In January for us, we are so busy in work that I actually think this style of lifestyle in January really suits my work life. Being chill. Like, why would I want to wake up, have a mental day in work, come home, have a mental evening, trying to gym, trying to do this, trying to do that, bake banana bread, bake, try to be healthy? No, it's just not it. So maybe this is a new thing. Maybe like January will actually be like my December, where I like slow down and chill. Who knows? What am I hoping or dreaming about lately? Not much. Getting back for a run, going back into a CrossFit gym, bringing my dog for a walk, because I haven't been able to do that. More holidays and actually leaving the country. We're really bad for just going to like hotels in Ireland and not actually leaving or like planning weekends away. So that is something that I want to focus on this year. I'm so excited about the fact that I have three like best friends / family weddings this year and I am buzzing. One of my best friends is getting married in June. My brother and sister-in-law to be are getting married in September, and then another one of my best friends is getting married in December. So it is like all guns blazing, hens, weddings, like it's just so exciting. So that is so fun this year, and then we do have some holidays planned around that as well. So again, in the past I would have always thought I can't leave because work will just crumble if I leave. I must obviously think that I was a surgeon and saving lives, but anyway, I am not. So yeah, I want to go on more holidays and know that work will survive without me, and I can go on holidays and I can open my laptop and I can work, and you know, like nothing really is that crazy or deep when you think about it. Okay, there are 3 questions. I'm aware it's getting darker. There are 3 questions that I like in this that I haven't answered, so I'm going to round off this with these 3 questions and then I'm done and I'm gone from the screen for another week. And if anyone watches this, thank you so much. I actually really appreciate the support. People are really nice. Not that many people watched the last one, but a few people texted me saying that it was nice, so that's lovely. So I'm going to finish with these 3 questions. One is, how do I reset when I feel overwhelmed? And the reason that I'm starting with this question is I think it's so relevant, and I think a lot of the time I would have gotten really overwhelmed and not known how to reset or not known what helps me. And honestly, brain dump. Write everything down, whether it's on your notes, whether it's in your diary. Just write everything down that's in your head and get it onto a piece of paper. Once you do that, you can literally make a plan. So this might be life stuff, it might be work stuff, it might be a mix of both, it might be like life admin, shit that you need to get done. But I think brain dump first of all, and then go back to what you know keeps you calm. And genuinely for me, it's journaling, meditating, and moving my body. And right now moving my body does look totally different, and it means I'm really leaning into like my rehab, because like that's my form of self-care now, and that's my form of exercise because it helps like future me. But I think brain dumping, meditating and journaling. I had this conversation with the girls last week and we were on about meditating, and they were like, do I actually have to sit down? Like, oh, it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm like, lads, if we don't, like, look at our screen time. I know I see my screen time sometimes and I'm appalled at myself. So I'm like, if we don't have 10 minutes to chill out and listen to someone in a guided meditation, well then we're goosed. So that is definitely how I reset when I feel overwhelmed or hoping for next. Honestly, I am manifesting that I will be back moving to somewhat full capacity and back exercising with my friends, being able to do exercise with Connor. I really want to do another half marathon and potentially a marathon, and then I really want to do high rocks, just cause everyone else is doing it and for a bit of crack. So that is really what I'm hoping for next. I'm hoping that my body will be fit and healthy enough, and that I'll be able to get this knee back to full recovery and I'll be able to move. And then I guess it's just for everyone in my circle and for myself to be healthy and happy. And that's really all that I'm manifesting right now, and that we have a great year, and that we remain as positive and as happy and healthy as we can. And then last but not least, this is kind of like, what advice would you give to your younger self, or maybe someone that's like graduating or in college? And this is literally one of my favorite quotes in the world, and you're going to realize now that I'm potentially a bit deep and really cringe, but it's that doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. And if I was younger, or to my younger self, or if I was someone that was maybe in college or like graduating or in school, my just biggest piece of advice is that don't doubt yourself. Attempting something, like, you will never fail, and you'll always only learn from anything that you attempt to do. And as soon as you start to doubt yourself and think, nah, I can't do that, or I won't do that, or why would I do that, or who am I to do that, that is going to kill more ideas or thoughts that you'll have than actually attempting it and failing it will. Because I know that, like, even from a work perspective, like, we've tried things, they haven't worked, you move on next. Like, from a product point of view, yes, thankfully Fem Fuel has been really successful, and it's been amazing that we have been in this company for 5 years. But like, you know, we could have started Fem Fuel and it could have absolutely flopped. I do not think for a second that if that flopped, me and William would have been like, right, we'll just go back to our full-time jobs. Like, let's call it a day. Like, once you have an idea, once you have a thought, once there's something you're passionate about, like, it might be something as small as like doing a high rocks, running a marathon. Don't doubt yourself. Just please don't doubt yourself. Back yourself. Don't know who I am to be saying this, but if one person was like, yeah, fuck it, maybe I'll do something, then that would be amazing. But yeah, doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will, so just go for it. It's just always been my one like go-to piece of advice, because I think it's so important, and I think it's so easy for us to doubt ourselves. And this is now 29, almost 30 minutes long, and I'm gonna have to edit this and try reduce all my waffle. So guys, thank you so much if you lasted this long, if you're still watching. I really appreciate it. This is week 2. Week 3, I'm going to go back to a daily, weekly vlog, because I'm hoping that this week will be a little bit more exciting. Might bring you to physio, might show a bit more of the rehab we've progressed to, getting out for a bit more walks. And yeah, hopefully this week will be super exciting. But for now, thank you so much for watching. To the people that have subscribed, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I love everyone's support. It's very cute. And yeah, I will see you all next week. Bye.